Buenas noches. Good evening. Australia only. All right, this little clip is just for Australia. So if you're watching from the US, clear off. I'll give you a shout when you can come back. UK, Germany, Spain, anywhere. If you can just leave and leave room for all of the Australian parents who have children in Australian schools. Everybody else, go and have a coffee break. Now, all right, Australian parents, something that is happening in all Australian schools, right? It's an internal system called One School, and it's something that all of the teachers have access to, and it has a lot to do with everything that's going on with the students, as well as other things. I want to make it clear, I'm not saying this because I'm having trouble at any school with any children. But on the flip side of that coin, I'm not doing it because I'm not having any trouble with any school and any children, all right? It's an objective look at something from a different angle. I love the angles, and I'm going to use common sense on this one, and I'm going to be objective. So it's not picking on anything, anyone, all right? It's an objective look at something called One School, and it is running in Australian schools. The best way to look at this is, for the next 5 minutes, pretend you're a teacher. Use empathy and step into a teacher's position at a school, right? And you're about to make an entry into a child's one report. Kid's just done something bad, and you're going to enter something into the One School internal school system, and every single teacher everywhere in Australia has access to it. So, let's say, for example, there's a clash of personalities between a teacher and a student. Would it be logical to think that that teacher would be putting the same kind of comments down as a teacher that wasn't having a problem with a certain child, right? Bearing in mind, this is important because these records can follow all of the children all the way into college. So basically, let's just say, for example, some of the children are clashing with one of the teachers, one of the deputy principals, one of the principals, right? It doesn't matter. All educational staff. If there is a clash of personalities, again, would it be logical to think that that teacher would be making fair comments on the children that he's clashing with? No, of course not. We're not stupid, are we? Just using common sense. If you're a teacher and you clash with somebody, a student you don't like, for whatever, maybe you didn't like their dad. Maybe you didn't like their dad when he was coming to the school, and now you just don't like the kid. You don't like that dad's child. So you're going to pick on him. You're going to enter negatives into the One School. How? I mean, I'm pretty sure that the One School report, and here's something very important, every single parent is apparently entitled, well, you are, I know you are. You can go and ask for your child's One School report, the behavioural, the disciplinary, academic. You can ask for all of it, right? It's important that parents understand this, because a clash of personalities at a school with your kid could alter the way that child is perceived by every single teacher until that kid is an adult and leaves school. Basically, they can mould a child's future. They could make or break a child's future, couldn't they? They don't have to notify any parents of any entries into the one school, right? You could have a child that's just on the fringes there, gets into trouble a little bit, you know, not great, but not terrible. But certain teachers, deputy principals might not see it like that. If they have got a child, it's really quite disturbing if you think about it. The power it gives them. One clash, the kid doesn't say much to mum or dad, it's just a few little things that are going on. 4 years later, you've got a string of negatives in a one school that you didn't really know about. And throughout the whole of his education, from all of it, from beginning of high school, year 6 is it here, all the way up by year 7, all the way up until they leave, he's been profiled, she's been profiled, and the parents don't even know, right? Something to be aware of, right? They always talk about bullying between the children, but you find yourself in a position with a teacher or a deputy principal, or even a principal maybe, right, that has a clash with a child or certain children. We're not stupid, are we? And on that note, the other side of the coin, I mean, one of the really bad kids, some of the teachers could be really good friends with that kid's parents. Are we stupid? If he does something a little bit naughty, it could get overlooked, couldn't it? This is about parents being involved. You don't know what's going on. Shit. Schools know more about your kids than you do. I think you'll find that any behavioural or disciplinary entries, negative ones, is going to tell you more about the relationship that teacher who made the entry. But that's the thing. I think they block the teachers' names out. If you ask for your child's one school, right, when you get the copies, what you'll find is, let's say there's been an incident with 3 or 4 kids, it will say there was 4 of them, it was blacked out and blacked out and blacked out and blacked out was there, right? Or white out, white out, white out, white out, you know what I mean? So you don't know which children were involved. And does the teacher, I'm not even sure that if you you ask for the report, I'm not even sure the teacher's name who made the report might be blacked out as well. So straight away, you're still not going to know which teacher made which entry, are you? If it's blanked out for whatever reason. So who made this negative entry? When did this happen? God, this is a bit silly. But you don't know which teacher made that entry, right? Parents can't really do anything other than ask for the one school report, just to make sure. It will give you a good indication of what's going on in the background. I don't think it's going to give you an accurate view of what's going on disciplinary wise, because that's going to be at the discretion of each teacher that makes the entry. If I don't like a child and I'm a teacher, I saw you do that. Do what? Are you talking back to me? Little Billy, talk back to me. It's easy, isn't it? Right? Parents teachers can easily provoke a child to react. It's a strategy that a lot of adults use on adults, isn't it? You find somebody's pressing your buttons and you don't realise it, and then you blow up. And even though you were discussing something about them, something that they did, they've turned it around by pressing your buttons, you've blown up, and they've made you look like the bad guy. Damn, how did that happen? Of cool head. People need to learn to keep a cool head as often as they can, and no matter what the circumstances are, because it could be that loss of control in a moment that will have you losing everything that you've just been fighting for, because you will be judged by your reaction. And if somebody knows how to press your buttons, you'll have a lot of trouble. Something that the kids should be taught, isn't it? Emotional control, right? If they're not taught emotional control, and a teacher can get those children to react in a certain way in the classroom, and then they can put a negative report about that child in the one school, you have yourself a problem, right? So I recommend that every parent who has a child at an Australian school ask for a one school, their child's one school report. It could be something that maybe you could say to the teacher at school, the principal, if there's ever an entry into my child's one school, disciplinary wise, could you please notify me? I don't know if that's a thing, but better safe now than sorry mañana, I'd say. And like I said, I'm not saying this for any other reason than it's something that needs saying. If I was a parent and didn't know about this and have just found out about it now, I'd appreciate it, because it's good to know what's going on. But I wouldn't worry about any negative entries. It's just common sense that says it's obviously going to reflect the relationship that your child is having with the teachers whose name might be blacked out. So only the people at the school are going to know who's writing what about who. But it can change. It could change the direction of a child's future without the child even knowing that he's being nudged in the wrong way by the wrong people throughout his entire educational career. Educational career? You know what I mean. Get involved in the children's future, because the wrong people blowing the wind into your child's sails, they'll blow the wind the wrong way and you won't even know it's happening. So if you care about your children, go to the school, email the school, ask for a copy of their one school. Then you will see what is going on in the background. That's a life hack and a half. All right, I shall be back.